Welcome to my live call. Today I'm going to be talking about or really answering some of the questions that some of you posted yesterday. So for those of you that don't know me, I've been involved in network marketing 40 years. I share a lot of what I've learned in my journey on these live calls. So I started in this business totally broke, put $200 into my business, and the last 27 years I've been full-time in network marketing. So and I'll start with this one first. I was messaged, does it work for a married couple to do two different companies? Does that work? And that's a very good question, because that's not usually a real normal situation. First of all, that I always recommend, I always think it's wiser that, because a lot of the people that start in network marketing are part-time, to support one another in their building efforts. So if their goal is to, go full-time in network marketing, then that's pretty hard when you're splitting your resources, your support, your time. It makes it twice as hard when you do that. Now I can understand if a woman is really hot for a makeup company, and I don't see the guy doing that, okay? He might want to do something else that reflects, just something that inspires him more than, makeup. He's not wearing makeup. But again, I just think it's wise to work the same company if you can as a married couple. And that way, if she's having a bad day, then he can pick up the phone and do the support work or do the Zoom calls, things like that. On the other hand, if he has to be with the children and do their homework, a lot of people are homeschooling now, then she can take charge and do other things, in supporting their business. Hey, Prashant from India, nice to see you. So I just think I think it's best. Now, I've seen situations where you had a top earner in one company, maybe go to a Ray Higdon event or Eric Worre's Go Pro Mastery and meet a top earner that was single in another company, and they decide to get married. In that situation, then it's not a problem, because they both have established networks. They both have established businesses. So it's not like they're just getting started. And in that circumstance, it works fine. It really does. Of course, it's going to really look funny if he goes to her convention and she's sitting up front and he's sitting there with her, and somebody from his company sees it, and vice versa, right? But companies, they should understand that. They should understand that. We have to keep in mind that, hey, Nikolai, we have to keep in mind we're independent contractors. We are. We're not employees of a network marketing company. So now Johansel from the Dominican Republic He asked the question about, Jeff, you always say when presenting, and by the way, you can post a question now, and then George will message me your question. But he says, you always say when presenting, we must communicate a sense of urgency to the prospects, letting them know that rather than start now instead of tomorrow, appealing to their sense of loss and pain, what are the adjustments that need to be made in the speech, or what words can be used so that they feel that? Well, okay, so we're talking about creating a sense of urgency in your message. The problem why some leaders just, they do the slow and steady way of doing the business, that's not appealing. What we have to understand that, you know, in the past, over the years, people will dangle the shiny objects, you know, the mansion on the hill, the Ferrari in the driveway. This can be yours. Now repeat what I said. Yes, the mansion on the hill, the Ferrari. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. What motivates people is not what they're going to gain, it's what they're going to lose. So that's the reason why preaching to our downlines about their dreams and about the houses and about financial independence, and it's like they're numb to it, right? On the other hand, if they see you working with a new team and you guys are blowing it out, you're running through the ranks, then that other team has a fear of loss, like, oh my gosh, look what they're doing and look what I'm losing. And all of a sudden they wake up and they go to work. I've always found that is what works. When you got people that are, their priorities are things that shouldn't be priorities, and that's what they want to focus on, it's always been my suggestion to ignore those people and go find a new team and do it right. And then they'll wake up and start doing those activities you've been trying to get them to do. But going back to Joe Hansel's question, in your presentation, what are the words that you use that convey a sense of urgency? Well, I think that, you know, it's simple. It's not difficult words to find. You know, this is going to be big. This is going to be huge. This is a product that's going to be in every household in the future. My only question to you is, what percentage of the market do you want? How much of it would you want? See, that conveys a sense, going back what I said, a sense of loss. If they don't take action, they're going to lose. This will not be as good a year from today as it will be today. That's right. We want them to take action. And it's not because you want to recruit them and just get a sale. What good is that? You know, I don't want somebody's order. I want their activity. Remember that, and I've said that many times to people. I'm not interested in your order. I'm interested in your activity. I'm interested in knowing what this will bring to you. But I want to serve you best. And in doing that, I have to convey to you that this is going to be big, this is going to be huge, this is going to be a product in every household in the future. My question is, you know, what percentage of the market would you want? Now, you could do this a year from today, but I'm saying it's not going to be like it is today. See, I don't want just their order, I want their activity. Why their activity? Their activity because if they get busy, instead of me selling $200 a product, I want their activity. I want them to go out there and build a team that's going to create $2 million a month. And those were the very words I used one time to a woman in Singapore. I sat at the table and we were having coffee, and I told her, and she was in another company, but I knew the company wasn't doing good, but I didn't tell her that. But it was a company that had products you could find anywhere. Andres, nice to see you. And so And those were the words I used. This is going to be big. This is going to be huge. This product's going to be in every household in the future. My only question to you is, what percentage of it do you want? What percentage of the market do you want? And she just looked at me with those poker eyes, and she said, okay, I'm in. And it became a $3 million dollar a month team. Incredible. All right, so simple words like that will work. And I don't know why this moved. There we go. So let's go on to Alfonso. How do you encourage leaders under you to work the business? Again, I talked about that earlier this week, the importance of setting it up right when you sponsor people. Most people are just happy about the fact they just sponsored someone. They're excited. Welcome to our company. This is going to be fun. Oh yeah, you're going to love our products. I don't use any of those kind of words. I don't. I mean, like I said on an earlier training, you got to get into why they want to join. That's very important that you do that. So you could say, well, hey, John, I'm so glad you made that decision. Let me ask you, what motivated you to do that? Yeah, it's very important because people are not so much joining because of your product or because of your compensation plan. They're joining you because they tapped into some feelings they haven't tapped into in a while, or they couldn't discover those feelings in their present job or what they're presently doing. Even when I go to Tony Robbins events, it's amazing. Now keep in mind, these are people that they're buying a $5,000 ticket to be there, or if it's Business Mastery, it's $10,000 a ticket. Okay? And so those are a unique kind of people, which is why I love going to those events and talking to them, getting to know some fantastic people. But what I find is a common expression is, yeah, I'm doing okay with what I'm doing, but I'm looking for something else. And I laughed when Tony interviewed one woman, and he asked her, about that. What was it that, what was she looking for? She said, well, this person introduced something to me, and I looked at it, and I said, there's something bigger, there's something greater, and I have to find it. And then another person brings me this, there's something bigger, there's something greater, but I have to find it. And she was funny. But common expressions like that. So what I'm saying to you is when you are making your presentation and a person has that sparkle in his eye or her eye, what you want to find out is, what did they tap into? What was it? What was the perception, the mental perception? What did they see at the moment? And so when you ask them that question, hey, I'm so glad you made that decision. If I can ask you, why did you do it? What were you thinking and feeling at the time when you made that decision? And pay special attention to that, because you're going to want to revisit that with them. We have to keep in mind, feelings are like faith. Faith has to be strengthened. It's not something you go buy at a store. It's not something that you just possess at the moment and you have it forever. It can weaken. It can weaken. And I see that all the time. So when their faith weakens, you want to revisit with them about those feelings, those decisions that they made at the time that they made it. So a couple of the things that you might also want to cover is, again, just say, look, if you don't quit me, can we agree to this? Can we agree to this, John? Give me 1 year, because this doesn't happen overnight. Whether they're joining part-time or full-time, it doesn't matter. It's 1 year, right? Give me 1 year, and I'll run with you in this. If you don't quit me, I won't quit you. If you don't quit me, I won't quit you. Can we agree to that? And if he says yes, That's an agreement. You can also say, my job is to help you. But if you don't do this, I don't have a job. And I want a job. I want to work with you. Keep it jolly, keep it fun. It doesn't have to be Wall Street. But just get that, see, that's what I mean by setting it up right from the beginning. Setting it up right. Most people don't set it up right. It's just like, wow, I'm so excited that you bought our products and you're going to love our products. And next thing you know, they're not buying your products anymore. And when you call them, they're not answering their phone. Set it up right. And also be the busiest person you can be. Be the busiest person you can be. So that if they let's say they're not answering your phone calls, and then just, you can get with them 5 days later if you want. And then just say, hey, John, I'm sorry. I've been wanting to connect with you. I've just been busy. We got some, just some incredible things going on right now. The business is growing so well. I'm running with this person, that person. You can share specific stories if you want. Say, so I apologize because that agreement that we made with one another. Hey, I'm still in that agreement. Are you still in that agreement? Those feelings that you shared at the moment when you made that decision to join, I thought it was so inspiring. Do you still have those feelings? Are you still committed to those things? Without getting them a lecture, you just want them to discover, rediscover what they felt. So, and then Kelly Holtman, I forgot, Kelly, are you present in the room? Kelly Holtman, she says, what are your tips for getting a new team member started? Again, Kelly, that goes back to what I was just talking about with Alfonso, and that is, it's very important to start them right, to set it up right. If you don't, they won't be with you for very long. So let's just say that you did those things I just mentioned. What are some other things that you can do to get a new team member started? The best thing that you can do is don't make the business about you. Don't be the expert. What's that old saying? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in trouble. So don't be the expert. You want people system reliant, not Kelly reliant. I mean, I know that can make you feel good, can make me feel good, right? They're Jeff reliant. Oh, warm and fuzzy. Man, they love me. They appreciate me. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not saying you're doing that. You're probably not. But the point is, if you're the authority and they're calling you all the time with questions and you become customer service when it's not your company and you're doing a lot of the legwork, then you're not going to like that life, because that's called a job. Yes, you can be a network marketing and it feels like a job. I don't want you doing that. I'm going to tell you right now, most people, that don't know about me, when they see me outside on my property doing something, they're like, what does the guy do, man? I mean, I never see him going to work, Anyway, but here's the thing that I want you to do. Have an onboarding video. If you haven't created one, just, if you don't have a YouTube account, get one. It's free, okay? And have an onboarding video, and then give them the basic steps. In other words, if I was to join your company, what do I have to do this month? Or maybe you could tell me in the next 90 days, but especially the first month, and it would be great even the first week. What are some activities that I could do that would show me that I can make money with your company? That's most important. The sooner they experience that, the better. Because once they see that they made $100 and it might have covered their products, or $200 and it covered their products, now they think, wow, that wasn't too hard. So if I do that again, I could double my income. So now their faith is getting stronger in the business. Most people come in this and they have zero faith because they had no experience. They have no reference. And the ones that do have reference, usually it's to something negative. Yeah, I tried this before and it didn't work. We'll see. We'll see how this turns out. We'll see how this turns out. I'm going to tell you right now how it's going to turn out. It's going to be bad. But most people come in, with that attitude, right? So again, that's the thing. When we bring people in, the best thing you can do is get something positive happening in their business the first 72 hours. The first 72 hours. They need to see that this appeals to people. So if you help them sponsor their first person, Nancy, how are you? Good morning. If they see that happening, they're like, wow, I just got my first person. And you're making a big deal about it in your Facebook group to your team, saying, hey, she just got her first one, and everybody's going, yay, man, you're awesome. What is it? Yeah, then she's ready to go and get what? Number 2. And then number 3. But you want to have something happening that first month. I mean, keep in mind, this is the romance phase. You know what that's about, right? So your significant other, can you think back what that was like when you met your significant other? There was nothing bad in that picture whatsoever, right? I mean, everything, it was a perfect scenario. He or she could do nothing wrong. You worship the ground they walked on. I mean, that's it, man. You were just on fire. Okay. And eventually, and I'm not saying that doesn't mean you're not now. It's just that kind of love matures later, right? It's not based on infatuation. It's based on facts, right? All right. So the same is true. The same is true when people join you. You have to understand they're in the infatuation experience or period right now. So what do you want is you want that moving into factual love. Love that's based on facts. Love that's based on reasons. Not, So the thing about it is once they experience that with you and they see, wow, gee whiz, I just recruited my first person. That's based on facts. Now we're moving from infatuation, which doesn't last, to facts that do last. Then they're thinking, wow, I can't wait till I get my next one. Then they get their next one. You know what? This is going to work. So get something positive happening their first 72 hours. And then Arturo, I hope I said that right, says, I know you spoke in the past about it being time to let people know our profession, that is network marketing, I guess. But should we also let people know of the company we are involved in and our products that they offer, deals, promotions? Lots of people in my company who I used to see promote curiosity very well on social media are now posting about their product deals, promotions, and the type of company that they're involved in. Here's the thing, I understand what's going on, and you're probably in a wellness company, okay? So that makes sense. And here's the thing. The question is, okay, if we're talking about a Facebook profile page, then you have this thing called a network. If you have, let's say it's filled with 5,000, because that's where you're matched, right? You got 5,000. What percentage of that 5,000 has the potential to even see anything you post? Well, let's just say the highest I've ever heard, though I think it might be less, is 10%. So I don't care, you got 5,000, it doesn't matter. Only 500 are going to see it. And that doesn't mean that they're going to engage with it. Now, my question to you is, of these 500 people, how many of those people are already distributors in your downline? Let me see. This is like me. Let's say I'm a Christian and I want to convert another Christian to Christianity, or we're calling it, you're preaching to the choir, right? And that's what I see a lot of these people doing. And sure, you're going to see a lot of likes and you're going to see a lot of engagements, but these people are already in their business. The truth of the matter is, you don't want most of your distributors in your downline in your Facebook profile page network. You don't. Let them follow you, have it in a public setting so that there's no point in them sending you friend requests. They just need to follow you. And because it's in a public setting, they're going to see everything that you post. But what you want to do is you want to treat your Facebook profile page as a digital marketing prospect list, which goes back to what you're saying. Now, here's the delicate balance. The delicate balance is that if every time I go to your page, may I go to your page? What would I see? Let me see. That's a cool dude. And he lives in Oregon. Okay, so I see 1 picture, 2 pictures, 3 pictures, 4 pictures. Okay, don't treat this like it's a photo album, okay? Try to spice it up. I see that on your next post, you're inviting people to a meeting. I assume it's a Zoom meeting because, well, when was the date for this? Oh, that's December 3rd, okay. And that's 2019, okay. So here's the thing. You're not using your page very much. You need to be posting every day. But no, don't let it be a commercial. If every time I go to your page, it's about the product, it's about the product, I'm going to keep scrolling. And that's it. And people are just going to scroll by. Now, of course, your distributors are going to give you thumbs up and comments. That's not going to make you any money. You don't make money on likes and you don't make money on views. You make money when people sign up under you and they purchase products and they build a business. That's the only thing you make money on. So I love you, man. Again, and if your upline, if you say, well, my upline does that, they post about, the products, they post about the opportunity, they post about the company. Sure, but the people that are engaging are their downlines, which isn't making them any money. What they should be doing is take their page, give value, teach the business, teach people what they do. Then their downline would get value out of that. I probably have some on my team on this call right now, and they're getting value out of it. So, again, if your network is mostly people that are not in your downline, should you be posting about your opportunity and your products there? You have to be careful. Again, if you're a constant commercial, they're not going to listen anyway. I wouldn't listen. Nobody here on this call would listen, right? But here's what I would suggest you do. Just be subtle about it. Just be subtle about it. Let's just say that you have a fantastic protein product and you're like Mitch. Is Mitch in the room? He'll join us later. Unfortunately, I feel bad for Mitch right now because he's every time I see Mitch, it's like, hey, Jeff, I'm getting on your call and I'm in the gym. He's always in the gym. I think the guy's got a bedroom in the gym, but now the gyms are closed. So I don't know. Maybe he's got some free weights at home. But Mitch is always in the gym. But let's just say that I'm like Mitch and I have a protein product. Okay, now this is called mumbling. And let's say I'm just going to do a Facebook Live from the gym, just like Mitch does. And there he is. He says, I'm here. He's such an awesome looking guy. Well, I guess so. As much time as he goes to the gym, hopefully he's not tanking up on donuts right now, Well, we can go when those gyms are open back, you got to be looking good, But anyway, if he was to do a live from the gym and say, hey, you guys, I just want to touch base with you, and he's talking about the workouts, maybe a certain part of his body system he's working on. It might be abs, it might be back, chest, who knows what. And then he says, and you know what, I finally found a protein product that is meeting my needs and giving me the results that I've been looking for. If you haven't found a protein product that's doing that for you, just reach out to me. I'll be glad to help. Oh, yeah, so what I'm going to work on that, when I come back tomorrow now, and people are going, what? What? He's talking about the protein product, and now he's talking about what he's going to be working on tomorrow. What protein product? He didn't say the name. He didn't say what it was. then what am I going to do? I'm going to message Mitch. I'm so Mitch, what's the deal? What's the product, man? I didn't hear you say the name, or what is it about? Tell me about it. That's called mumbling. That's where you're promoting your product and you're not promoting your product. It's not obvious. But when you're obvious, then people aren't interested. Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's one of those. So, mumbling. Okay, if you're in a wellness company, if you have a great immune system product, you could be in the kitchen talking about, hey, you know, our family, since we've been involved in the quarantine, we decided to work on new recipes, health recipes, and adding some things in it that are really healthy to the immune system. And I finally found an immune system product that's really supporting my needs. I'm getting the results I want. If you haven't found a product like that and you're looking for it, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help you with it. So let me tell you what else we're putting in this salad. We're going to put in, you see, that's mumbling. That's effective, and that's what I would recommend. But if we're going to say, hey, I'm in XYZ company, and guess what we got? We got this product. It's called Turbo Max. Turbo Max. This is going to give, and people are scrolling. They're like, oh man, I don't want to hear that. Right. Okay, try that. And so Andrina from Texas, she says, what is your take on time management right now? I have the girls with me 24/7. You have beautiful girls too, because they're like you, Andrina. You have beautiful kids. I have to tend to them as soon as they wake up, which is around 8 a.m. Also, how do we follow up with those that left me on scene the first time I reached out during the quarantine? How do we follow up with those that left me on scene? Unseen. All right, let's go back to your girls. First of all, what do you do with girls that want mommy's attention? You women are so good at that. Find, whatever they love to connect with, what is that? And get them connected to that after you've done the necessary things in the morning, like breakfast, and you got all that out of the way. Whatever they love to do, get them involved in it, and then disappear. And then go down the hallway and close the door and do what you do. Do the magic. Just start calling people, connecting with people. And that's what I would do. And as far as following up, with people during the quarantine, well, most people are home. And if they're not engaging back with you, then do the apology thing. Oh, hey, Debbie, hey, listen, I'm sorry. It's been a few days since I, messaged or talked to you last. Things are just going phenomenal. I can't believe it. I'm loving my home-based business. I'm finding people home. People have time. Orders are coming in. My team is growing. But I was thinking about you because you're totally awesome. I enjoyed our last conversation, and I want to connect with you. So I have a little time today. Message me back. If it's possible, you could talk to me at this time or that time. Now, again, that's important that you put it that way, because if you just say, message me today if you have time, you don't want to say that to Debbie. Now, all of a sudden, you got all the time in the world and she doesn't. No, I only have this time and that time that's available. And I'm committed to other calls. Let me know which time would work for you. And even if she messages back and says, well, I can't do those times, but I do want to talk to you, okay, great. Well, let me see. Tomorrow, tell me what time you think, and I'll make it work, okay? I'll make it work. See, you're in demand. If you're so available, then that's just cheap goods. And you're not cheap goods. You're in demand. And for them to get your time, it's got to be a privilege. It's got to be a privilege. So, and now get this. And then she says, Andrina from Texas says, oh, and one last thing. How okay is it to take a day off, meaning I didn't prospect or follow up that day? You want a day off? What's up with that woman? Hey everybody, isn't that cute? Isn't that cute as can be? Of course you could take a day off. You could take 2 days off if you want. You know, this is not a job, but man, I love your dedication. Of course it is. Look, here's the thing. I want you to understand and try to do this. For you to perform as a leader, I'm talking about be at your best. There's 4 areas that you have to meet if you're going to be able to do that. 4 areas. One is your physical needs, okay? Physical needs. And Mitch knows all about that because he's a master in the gym. But try to do some exercise. And if you get on Amazon, get one of those rebounders if you can't go to the gym, and maybe some free weights. Have it shipped right to your house. There you go. You got you a gym, and you can put on those DVDs. Michelle does that. I mean, boom, boom, boom. Very good for the lymphatic system, by the way, because it's not like the heart. You can't pump. So all that garbage accumulates, all that toxicity, then it gets in your bloodstream, then it affects your thinking, and all of a sudden, you know, you, the most positive person, are now so negative, right? You can, even in an apartment, have a gym, okay? And even Mitch might want to make some comments about that. But rebounder, free weights, things like that. Your physical needs, if you want to be be at your best in performance, physical needs have to be met. Emotional needs have to be met with your significant other or even your children. You know, don't you feel good when you just hold them in the morning? You're so grateful that they're alive another day and they're with you, okay? They're very special. Emotional needs have to be met. Spiritual needs have to be met. Take some time for prayer. Take some time for that. And then intellectual needs. That is, you got to feed your mind. So, you know, Mindy talks about the power hour she does every morning. That's a Tony Robbins expression, where we take time for personal development. Take a little time. If it's not an hour, if it's 30 minutes, fine. You know, a dose of Tony will really get you going. It'll light you up. So anyway, those are things, and so, you know, take care of those 4 needs. If you take care of those 4 needs, then you're in total peak performance. And Daniel says, what are your top questions to close the deal? This is Daniel Hernandez, I believe in Mexico, right? I like the Godfather expression. Let me make you a deal you can't refuse. And you have a gun laying right there. You know, I find that works every time. They always sign up. No, again, it's got to be about them, Daniel. If they want to, you want it to be their decision, not your decision. We're not wanting to just get them to sign up to get rid of us, right? I don't want that person. I mean, you know, I want it to be their decision. So when it comes to closing, just understand, and that's a sales term. So look at yourself not so much as the salesperson as the consultant, and the consultant wants to help them make the right decision, and the right decision may not be to join you. You might, what are you talking about? Yeah, the best decision may not be to join with you. You know, if they tell me they really don't like people, I had a guy tell me that. I said, well, then this business is not for you, because that is our business, is people, right? So I don't want a person like that, because it's just going to be too much negative energy, you know, a person like that. So a consultant is, number one is, you know, after they've seen your presentation, whether it's a video or in person, does not matter, okay, based on what they saw, if I could show you a way to make money with this, how much money would you want to make? And, you know, to make it worth your time. And when they give you that amount, let's say, well, I just need to right now to make an extra $1,000 a month. Okay, great, wonderful. Then the next question would be, how much time are you willing to commit to that? In other words, per week, how many hours? And if they say, well, I've got 5 hours a week I think I can dedicate to it. Great, no problem. Then how many months would you commit to this business working at 5 hours a week to realize a solid residual income of $1,000 a month? If they say 6 months, okay, great. Based on what you just said, is there anything else I can answer before you get started? That's an important question. Is there anything else I haven't answered that I can answer now before you get started? You're making the suggestion they're getting started. Well, that's what you're asking them to do. You're asking them to take action. Action, excuse me. I'm going to drink some more coffee. Before they get started, before you get started. Is there anything else? And they say no. I said, great. You know what? Hey, John, I look forward to running with you. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to make some money. Just keep it fun. Keep it upbeat. Don't be so serious. And that's the consultant part. You want it to be their decision, not your decision, right? And then so here, Nanette says from Florida, hi, Jeff. What is the first thing you should send when someone requests information via WhatsApp while in other countries? Okay, so she's saying if someone is in another country and you're in the United States or whatever, and you're using WhatsApp, what should you send? Just a video. A video will be great. And should I send the compensation plan first? Nope. You don't. Here's the thing. They need to know what what are you selling? Keep in mind, people have 4 things in mind, 4 questions. 4 questions. Now, they may not ask you these, but they're thinking them. And if you don't answer these, even though they don't ask, they're not joining you. What is this? Okay, this is network marketing, right? And this is this network marketing business. This is my company. Okay? And your product, what is this? I have a lead product, or I have this product line. So the what is this must be answered. Number 2, what are they thinking? Does this product have value? Is it snake oil? Are you selling snake oil? That's what they're wondering. Okay. Is it snake oil? Okay, so does the product have value? What is this? Does the product have value? Is it a product you can find everywhere, or is it sort of exclusive to your company? Those are appealing parts to it. Number 3, can I make money doing this? Can I make money doing this? And then number 4 is, can I get help? If they can't get help, they're not joining. If they think they got to figure it out, they're not joining. If they don't see something in place that you have, they're not joining. So again, Nanette, going back, I would, number 1, send them out a video. Don't let it be about your compensation plan, because that's question number 3. Question number 3, can I make money, right? We're not going to answer question 3 until we do question 1. What is this? So I want to know about your company. I want to know about your product. Your video needs to tell me that. Okay, then I'm going to follow up with, and then you can get on a call. That's the great thing about WhatsApp. Can you imagine, when I started in my last company 21 years ago, what an international phone call would cost you? It would cost you your whole entire check that you got for the month, right? I can remember when our phone bills were $1,200 a month, we never complained. Now it's, you mean I got to download the WhatsApp? I got to download that app. I got to go through all that work. People are so messed up, okay? It's free. If you got Wi-Fi, come on, download the app, right? Make the phone call anyway, and then you can get into question, and again, in your video, if it explained the product, the value, in question 3, you can get into how you make the money. But you have to keep in mind, if they're not asking you compensation plan questions, don't give it to them. Don't give them the compensation plan up front. Give them the activity. Sell the activity, don't sell the plan. If you do this, this is the result you'll get. If you do this and this, you get a bigger result. And that, because that's what people want to know. What do I got to do to make money? And again, number 4, how can I get help? They're going to get help because they're going to have you, and you can do Zoom calls, you can do trainings, so also if this person does not have Zoom, just give them your phone number. Yeah, so that's it. So again, your question was starting with WhatsApp. You want to build an international team. That's great. And if they don't have Zoom, no problem. Once they're in your business, they're going to do, what you ask. Like I have a group in South Korea, and these are very traditional type network marketers, even though they all have smartphones, they all have Facebook accounts. It's just the way it is. But now I had to explain to them, okay, now that you guys are in a quarantine situation, we need to be Zooming. We need to be booming on our Zooming, okay? And let's just do that. And then I need a translator. That's all I need is a translator. So take advantage of it. And then Lisa here says, Lisa from Connecticut, okay, I have a few questions or frustration. Lisa is frustrated. She's frustrated, everyone. Let's help her. Okay, so in November, I had 4 people on my network. I'm not exactly sure what you mean on your network. I'm going to assume that's your Facebook network or you're talking about downline. Either way, her company had a free subscription promotion with a free kit. Okay, so these are people that enrolled for free, and they subscribed by themselves. So evidently she put something out there and it was free to join, so they joined. I called them and went into action to help them get started. Unfortunately, only 2 answered. Okay, but you have to understand when you offer those free deals, and nothing wrong with it, but just understand it is what it is. That sometimes people will sign up just because they're curious, and they may not even order products. And even the ones that do order products, sometimes that's all they want is the product. We have the assumption they're interested in the business, when in fact it may not be so. But out of 4, 2 answered. So that's 50%. That's not bad. We had a tremendous connection, but eventually they just got inactive. They lost that love and feeling. It's like I talked about the romance phase, right? The romance phase. Woo, nothing could be better. It's like you're on drugs, right? Okay, you feel so good. Okay. And then reality comes crashing in a little later. And that's it. Why don't she ride anymore? Anyway, but all right, so they eventually got inactive and are not any longer in the network. Okay, so again, you got a timeline there from infatuation to real love, right? To go into real love means they got to have something positive happening in their business. It's what I talked about earlier. So the quicker you get them in the saddle and things are happening, the better, the better. What I'm not seeing, and you can comment on that if you would like, Lisa, from the time that they joined and you had this tremendous connection and then later they became inactive, how long was that time? So tremendous connection, then it was later, then they were inactive. Are we talking about a week? Are we talking about 2 weeks? Again, that's why I say get something positive happening in their business the first 72 hours while they're in the infatuation state. Because again, they've never done anything like this. Maybe they beat themselves up and say, you know what, I suck, I'm horrible, I'm a loser. That's what my parents always told me. That's what my siblings always told me. I'll never be good at this. Or I tried one of these before and it didn't work out. And then we have these comparisons to the past. That's why Tony Robbins says, the past doesn't equal the future. You can't live your life looking at the rearview mirror trying to go forward. You'll crash, and people crash all the time. So Daisy Daisy says, good morning, dear Jeff. Question. Two people registered on my website as preferred clients instead, and she means customers, interested in my lifestyle and the products I use. I did not mention the names, but I always talk about the well-being they produce. How can I follow up to present the business opportunity? Okay, all right, so Daisy, I wish I understood Spanish better. Anyway, I'm joking with you. Okay, so it said that you okay, so so this is not your company website. This is, so you mentioned your lifestyle on your website, and you're wanting to know how can I follow up to present but I always talk about the well-being your products produce without mentioning names. Well, I would just follow them up and just simply talk to them. I mean, if they're on your website, and this is with the assumption I have, that your website talks about health and wellness, lifestyle, or both, and all that, then you already have the same values. So that's self-evident, isn't it? So then just reach out to them and say, I'm so glad we have the same values. There's something I want to share with you. And at that point, you can share about your product and why you think this product would be of great value to them. Nothing wrong with that. And then at the same time, I mean, I never sell one without the other. I don't separate them. I don't have a product approach and then a business approach. To me, it's all the same thing. Because if your product is that great, and I know yours is, Daisy, if your product is that great, then of course, that's an admission right there that there's a business opportunity. Business opportunities are based on products that have great value. So why would I separate it? I don't go to McDonald's, they'll sell you either let's say their burgers, they will sell you a franchise, won't they? Now, but it's interesting, if you reach out and say, hey, okay, I'm interested in the franchise opportunity because I hear people make a lot of money with the McDonald's franchise. They say, no problem. Come, we want you to definitely see what a McDonald's operation looks like. Well, where do you go to see that? You go to a McDonald's, right? You walk into a McDonald's. Now, when you go there, you don't see all these people standing behind the registers like that. And there's no burgers, there's no nothing, nobody's eating anything. People are at the tables, they're just sitting there, but nobody's eating anything. And then they say to you, oh, well, you see, we separate the products from the business. We don't sell our products in the franchise model itself. The franchise model is the franchise model. Now, if you want to see the burgers, let me see. I guess you'd have to go to the headquarters and see what a burger looks like. No, I do both. I sell it all, because if you have a great product, you have a great opportunity. Just say, hey, there's an opportunity behind this product. I just want you to know about it. I don't want you getting mad at me later saying, why didn't you tell me about this? Okay. Okay. So then now I'm going to go to any questions you posted, because we've been on this for a little while, and I appreciate that. Let me see. From the country of Colombia, JVR says, what if the wife wants to do the business, but the husband says that's a pyramid? I can't imagine that ever being a problem, right? Here's the thing. If that's a situation, and hopefully they got a good marriage, that's going to determine the outcome of that, right? Because if he's tyrannical, she's in trouble. But I think the best thing to do is always share the product with the husband. Okay, you're the wife. I assume that whatever product attracted you to your business, they have to have more than one product. And I've mentioned this before in previous lives, that when you recruit somebody, don't recruit somebody. Don't recruit one member of a family. Recruit them all. Recruit them all. I'm not saying go invade their house, storm the beach, do a presentation in their living room. I'm just saying that when that person joins, You know, a lot of people are just so happy to get the order. They're just so happy they joined. That's not setting it up right. This is another way to set it up right, where it's an additional way to do it. That's important. And that is, let's say she joined. Okay, let's say she joined for a wellness product. Let's say she wants to lose weight. Okay, that's great. The husband will like the fact if she loses weight. He probably needs to lose weight too, right? Okay, and that might be a way to onboard him and say, hey, honey, why don't we do this together? Why don't we lose weight together? You know, I mean, you know, we'll be chasing one another around the house later on. We're going to be glad we did this. Not a bad idea, okay? But if it's not a weight loss product, it's just any kind of product. Is there a product in your line that you could purchase for your husband? Let's say his family has a history of heart issues. Okay, he might need to be on a product that's specific for heart. Or it could be like he likes to go to the gym and you have a protein product. Great, fine. What about the children also, too? Don't forget them. You don't want a situation in the family where the parents are healthy and the kids aren't, right? So we got to take care of the kids, and the husband loves his children, right? So get some products for them as well. I'm not saying load her up with $1,000 of product, but what I'm saying is she needs to find a product that would appeal to him. What we're trying to steer away from is the focus of a pyramid thing. Pyramid, in his definition, okay, it's an illegal scheme in which people just, the money is the product. It's not the wellness products. Money is the product. Now, she can try to, and this is the other thing, you know, she can try to reason with him. Well, honey, I mean, you're an intelligent man. What do you consider a definition for a legitimate business opportunity? Would you say that if somebody goes into a store and they want to buy a product, and they find the product and they give them money and the store gives them the product and they walk out, is that a legitimate business transaction? Yeah, that's what this is too. I don't have to participate in building a downline to purchase this company's product. They're just saying that if I want to get involved in that part of it and train people how to sell, I'm entitled to make money off those very people that sell because I put my time into them. Is that reasonable? Again, you have to have a reasonable spouse, right? But again, how to win them over? Find a product that would appeal to them. Let's shift the focus from pyramid to the product. Once he likes the product, then you can start massaging that person, your husband. Hopefully you give him massages, right? Hopefully he gives you massages. Massage that person, and with that reasoning. Now, here's somebody from the country of France, Andres, from the country of France. I have a prospect in India. How can I do the business? Do I have to connect with them to another leader physically in that country to do the business? No, don't ever do that. This is a common mistake. Again, you know, many times we think that if we haven't built an international team, we can feel insecure about our experience. We've never done that before, right? So then what we're wanting to do is rely on someone else in that country of India to do that training for us, or any country for that matter. We have to keep in mind that those people wouldn't have a vested interest financially into that new person you sponsor. So why would they want to spend time doing that? Again, don't look at the world as separate countries. Look at this person as if he lives right down the street. You can get on a Zoom call and talk with that person. You can train that person, whatever, you know. You can do it all from your home, even if they're in India. Now, also, if you have a corporate office there, and you probably do, get familiar with those people in that corporate office. And, you know, because they're supposed to support you. That's their job, okay? Find out if they use Facebook Messenger, and group that person on Messenger in a Messenger chat with your prospect in India. And that's okay to expose that person to someone who's in corporate, because they're in corporate. I'm just telling you, cross-sponsoring, stealing, I've seen that so much, because I've seen people do that. They'll reach out to a distributor in that country. Hey, will you help my person that's going to join me? And then they say, yeah. And they invite them to a meeting, something like that. Say, hey, the guy back in France, I don't know if I'd sign up with France when, hey, I'm right here for you. That stuff goes on all the time. So never connect them. There's no need for you to ever connect your distributor, someone you just sponsored, to someone like that. You always go to your corporate people for that support, and they'll let them know about meetings and things like that they can go to, and they can bring their prospects too. And so then George sent me this, and this is from Zita K. Hey Zita, how are you? Zita K. And Zita asks, how can you find a new group if you are doing business with family members? Well, right now we're in quarantine, so the only way you're going to do that is on social media, in Facebook. Zita, start joining some Facebook groups in the area that you live. I don't know what country you're in, but it works this way everywhere around the world. Look for groups in your city, popular groups, and start joining those groups and start making friends. Go to their pages, and even in the group, engage with them in the group. Never promote your product or your opportunity in a group, because the admin will kick you out right away. What you want to do is simply make new friends, create new relationships, then add them to your page. Add them to, Zita says, I'm in Florida. You're in that foreign country, Florida. Okay. So let's say you're in Orlando, Florida. Then I would look for groups specific. And if you're, I don't know, Zita, that's an interesting name. If you're Spanish or you're English, I don't know what your preferred language. Whatever your preferred language is, go to those type of groups in the city that you live in and start, again, join those groups, engage, never talk about your product or your opportunity, just make friends, relationships, then send them friend requests. Don't be too aggressive. I mean, go at a pace. Don't make it look like you're on a hunt, but I'm just saying start adding people, engage in their pages. Don't hit them right away about your opportunity. You're Hungarian, but English is your preferred language. Okay. All right, you're Hungarian, don't look hungry, okay, whatever you do. I'm joking, I'm messing with you. So, there has to be some kind of rapport, but not endless rapport with people. And then what you do is then after you can even send them a message and say, hey, I like that post you made today about what you're doing in quarantine, how you got that rebounder out of from Amazon shipped to your house, a few free weights, you got your own gym going, and I love those exercises, man. You are totally awesome. And then you can, not endless rapport, but in the next message say, hey, have you ever been open to also using certain products to enhance your health? And have you ever been open to something like that? And then you can go right into it. And she said, well, yeah, sure. Say, you know what? They've been talking about it, the fact that everybody needs to have their own home-based business. I've been doing this on the side. I've been, very pleased with it so far. If you're open to it, I'd like to send you a video and see what you think. It may or may not be for you. It's really good to say it may or may not be for you, because you're giving them a way out and they'll respect you for it. But if you don't give them a way out, then they feel cornered and pressured. So just use that. It may or may not be for you, and then they're like, oh man, she's so nice. She gave me the way out, but maybe it is for me. See, it's all in the psychology, isn't it? The way we talk. So that's it, guys. I tell you, it's been awesome spending Saturday morning with you guys. I guess it's morning. Some of you, it's evening if you're on the other side of the planet. But, enjoy your time today with your family. I hope, some people, they say, life in the family, we're getting on each other's nerves and all that. Well, find things, something we're doing at our dinner table every night when we have dinner. We did this last night. We've been doing it every night. Each family member needs to say something they're grateful for, that they're really thankful for, something they really appreciate. And I just think it's great. It's a time to create great culture in the family and to draw it closer together as a family. And at the same time, keep in mind, you have a window of time right now in this opportunity called network marketing, where never in the history have we had a situation like this, where everybody is pretty much home. They're home and they have nothing but time. You are home, you have nothing but time. Now that's going to end, that window, eventually. But you have this window. Now, nobody's going to forget coronavirus, right? Nobody's going to forget the fact that it's been emphasized so strongly that that you need to work from home. Yeah, we won't forget that. That's going to always have some kind of impact, which is going to give you leverage leverage in your business. But the circumstances we find ourselves now, everyone's home, everyone has time. You are home, you have time. That window would disappear. And some of you heard me mention, I have actually a woman here from Wuhan. No, I'm not dead yet. Lives with us. I'm joking. Anyway, but she went to a Tony Robbins event. I'll share this again. She went to a Tony Robbins event, and for those of you who haven't heard this, and she couldn't go back because of the virus. And so what happened is that, and she's never been involved in network marketing. Like I said, I met her at a Tony event. I said, well, you can come stay with us. She had an interest in network marketing, never been involved. And I said, you can come with us and I'll teach it to you. It may or may not be for you, and it's okay if it's not. You can just have a place to stay until you go back. Anyway, long story short, she liked network marketing, and in 12 days, she built a team of 165 distributors in China by doing Zoom calls. Now, again, she had a sense of urgency. So she got her girlfriends on a Zoom, and she did Zoom calls like twice a day, in the morning, in the evening, because of the difference in the time over there. And that's it, man. And she's still building like crazy. And it was very refreshing with the fact that this is someone who's never been involved in network marketing. 12 days, 165 distributors, $21,000 of product volume that they sold, and she's got zero experience. She has passion, she has heart. I think that's powerful. But here's what she had to her advantage, and this is why I brought it up, is that the circumstances in China were people were home and they had nothing but time. And Chinese are busy, right? They're busy. So home, nothing but time. She said, well, if they're home and they got nothing but time, I'm going to build like crazy. And that's what she did. She took that window. Now that window's gone, because in China now Apple opened over 50 stores a couple of weeks ago, 53 stores. Other companies are launching over there now. There's nothing that I'm aware of where somebody's in quarantine now in the country of China. They got the restaurants are open, their cafes are open. I know because I saw some of the pictures of some of those Chinese leaders that joined us, and they're in groups now and, having parties and doing things again. Life's gone back to normal. So, but the girl took advantage of that window of time. Now, here you are. What are you going to do with it? You got a window of time. It's going to disappear, but what are you going to do in that window of time? Think about it. People are home. They have nothing but time. Oh my gosh. That's a captured audience. Yes, this is the time to hustle. This is the time to make hay while the sun shines. That's right. When the farmer doesn't say, well, I'll get to it one day. No. He understands when the harvest comes in, you got to hustle. And that's the season you're in right now. You're in the harvest season, the hustle season. And if you've always said that, hey, I want to get to that next rank, but I don't, it's hard to get anybody to talk, or it's hard to find anybody home, or this is the time. So I hope you take advantage of it. And reach out to me anytime. Everyone, have a wonderful Saturday. Be positive, be thankful. Always, try to have gratitude, in everything. Look for gratitude in everything that you experience. Everyone, have a great day.